A scary scene on a major highway. Investigators believe a sniper-style attack left 2 injured and 1 dead. Firefighters arrived at a Florida home ready to fight a fire, but when they rushed upstairs, a 38-year-old man was already dead. That's where the Madison County Sheriff's Department tells me the victim is inside, and he is an 18-year-old male who was standing outside of the yard of his own home when shots began firing. This is one of the places that got hit the hardest. As you can see, there is still a ton of damage all around me. We have breaking news just into our Way 31 newsroom. The state of Alabama has issued an Amber Alert. A teen is behind bars tonight. Police say he was responsible for a one-man crime wave that started on Friday. I spoke to a neighbor who tells me that a woman and her 2 children lived inside of this now burned down mobile home. The city of Madison is hoping for no last-minute curveballs, as this deal for the Mobile Bay Bears to make the move is still contingent on 2 things. Tonight, as Alabama's primaries get closer, Tuscaloosa Mayor Walt Maddox is laying out his priorities in his run for governor. Chris, we saw some thunderstorms scattered across the Tennessee Valley today, and I know you've been saying hot, humid, and muggy. Is this kind of the trend we're going to be seeing this week? We're talking havoc hockey all day here in the Rocket City, coming off that huge overtime win over the Mississippi River Kings last night. And the Tigers have really looked confident and relaxed since they arrived here in Atlanta, saying they're just treating this as just another game on their schedule. And just to be able to go inside, you have to wear one of these protective face masks. Neighbors are scrambling to put their lives back on track after a fire at an apartment complex put 17 people out of their homes. We start this morning with breaking news out of Athens. A late-night murder shut down a stretch of Highway 72. New tonight, Atlanta police say a woman claims she was sexually assaulted by a fake cop. The woman says she was pulled over by a dark sedan Friday. A 32-year-old man was arrested on Saturday for the shooting and killing of his father. That's a steal. You're going to get a lot of emails, I think.
I don't think I'm going to get one.
She's been following this story since news first broke.
MaryLee?
Yeah, Dan, Demetria, I want to break down to you the latest information that we have. We know that there are 17 confirmed dead. 3 are now in critical condition. The suspect has been taken from the hospital into custody. We now know that he had an AR-15 style firearm and multiple magazines. I read that you are a big fan of coffee and avocados.
I haven't had my coffee yet today, though, so
You
y'all can't tell.
I should have brought you coffee. A Colbert County man has admitted he was driving the vehicle that hit and killed a man in Leeton. Alabama state troopers say David Lee Borden of Cherokee contacted them late last night. And this activism is coming on the heels of a successful strike in West Virginia. After 9 days, lawmakers eventually agreed on a 5% pay increase. Don Hendricks held a press conference this morning at Big Spring Park to address what's been a very public and highly criticized case. Now, she herself is a former Huntsville police officer, so she doesn't like that the Moulton Police Department is being attacked. But 2 weeks into the investigation, she saw that they were struggling, and so she felt compelled to step in, and that's when she reached out to the family and she volunteered her service.
In those first 2 weeks, we had a lot of rain. I woke up almost before I even contacted the family. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and sit straight up, and I would picture her in the rain. You know, that's a matter of the heart. It has nothing to do with anything else.
Dawn Hendricks tells me she has never experienced a case like this, as it was difficult to get all of the information she needed. She had a plan all along, but this time there were obstacles she couldn't control.
I have never, ever worked anything where I can't almost immediately figure everything out. And so for me, that was sad to me. That hurt me, because I thought, why can't I get all the information that I need? Why can't I find her?
Hendricks tells me she's not here to attack what any agency did. She wanted everyone to work together and only had one goal in mind: to find Jennifer. But she didn't do it alone. A large group of volunteers who brought over 50 Jeeps to the Bankhead area are also to thank. Brandy Hutchison saw a post on Facebook about the search and contacted all of the Jeep groups she's a part of. The response was overwhelming.
Basically just told them when and where, and they showed up in hundreds. It was a lot of people.
She tells me it's a huge area to cover with winding trails and no cell reception, but they had the numbers and the plan to do it.
But what we did is we had 10 Jeeps pretty much go in down each road, and all of those roads separate eventually. So what I told them is, I said, when that road separates, half of you go one way and half of you go the other way, and then just, you know, all the way from Moulton to the Winston County area.
They used maps and CV transmitters to communicate, and less than an hour and a half into the search, they got a call.
We were out on foot walking around, and she was up towards the top where the Jeep was, and she just started screaming, "Get in your Jeep, get in the Jeep, get in the Jeep." So we all took off running back towards her. She handed me her phone, and she said, "I need you to get me here." And the person on the other end told me where they were, and we took off, and we got there in just a few minutes.
Dawn Hendricks then executed the hardest part of her plan. She went to the car alone, where they believed Jennifer was inside.
I didn't want them to find what I found. I didn't want them to have to see that, because those things haunt you. And they'll haunt you for the rest of your life.
She then made the call to 911, and the family came to identify that they had in fact found Jennifer 4 weeks from the day she went missing. And Dawn Hendricks had a message that this is a time for the community to come together and to help this grieving family. And those volunteers are a perfect example of that. Brandy told me that there were some people that just showed up in their Honda Civics, but they wanted to help. And so they hopped in the Jeeps of complete strangers and took off.